Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Global Event. I am your host, Anirban Mukherjee from National Digital Library of India. So, after a small pause, we are again here with a unique and interesting topic. So, let's have a look. So, today's topic is water tech and beyond, building a career in sustainability. We'll discuss on it, and we are having our guest with us. So today's episode is being organized by National Digital Library of India in association with Wales Global Foundation India. So let's look into the National Digital Library of India. National Digital Library of India, or NDLI, is a 24/7 online digital library which was started its journey as a pilot project in 2015, and thereafter it was nationally launched on 19th June 2018. It was aimed as a national knowledge asset serve to function as a key driving force for education, research, innovation, and knowledge. So it's a single window platform providing learning resources that make learning education accessible to all for all the age groups, like from KG to PG. We have 10.5 crore plus content for all the age groups. So I will like to highlight three initial points about NDLI. So first, let's have a look. We have a dedicated division for examination preparation and career development. So as most of the students are here from UG or PG, they are looking to develop their career in future. You might be aiming to sit for the examination like RRB, IBPS, UPSC, or SSC. So for that, you will just go to the National Digital Library of India, and here you can get career development section. There you will get questions, model questions, answers, solutions, and all those solutions are tailor made by the expert from National Digital Library of India, and those are unique. So why those are unique? To For that, you just have to visit and check those things on our website. Here you can also get question solutions and all these things for JE main, JE advanced, and NEET preparation also, and for the school boards also. And you can get lots of thousands and millions of reference readings from the National Digital Library of India. And apart from that, and another unique approach ever taken by any digital libraries, that is NDLI Club. And NDLI Club, most of you know that it is providing a platform for handholding so that institution can fulfill the NEP 2020 recommendation. The recommendation made by NEP 2020 is to establishment of activity based club in educational institution, so that those club can help to enhance student their core competencies, sharpen their skills and the personality traits. Right now we have more than 5300 clubs across the India. It will help the institution to create a vibrant environment where students can achieve academic excellence as well as shape their personal interest and hobbies. Apart from that, students can get access to millions of contents from NDLI. Activity based learning is also recommended by NEP 2020 and also recommended by AICT, and it will also help the institution to improve their NIRF ranking and all the national level rankings. And uh, NDLI also received numbers of national and international awards for the endeavor. And National Digital Library of India is developed and maintained by IIT Kanpur under the aegis of Ministry of Education, NMICT. So with NDLI, learn, share, and grow. And right now, I'm having with me Miss Sujata Roy. She is our partnership coordinator from Wheels Global Foundation. She is currently the chairperson of Wheels Global Foundation, Eastern India. and also the member of their executive council. She has also served as the Chief Operating Officer for NDLI over the last 8 years. Mrs. Roy did his MSc in Physics from IIT Kharagpur, postgraduate in Computer Science from uh, Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, and CQA from Quality Management Institute, USA. She spent most of her career in the corporate IT sectors and MNC houses till she finally retired from the IBM as general manager. After retirement, Ms. Shriyata Roy is serving the society and giving back to the society. So I am welcoming her in on stage. Welcome, Ms. Shriyata Roy. And now, and now I am handing over the session to Mrs. Roy to take it forward. Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mukherjee. I really feel privileged to be introducing the two stalwarts of the industry today, the speakers of the day. We have number one, we have our principal speaker, Mr. K Sri Harsha, who is a distinguished alumnus of IIT Kanpur and is also the founder of Kritsnam Technologies, an innovative smart water management company in India. Harsha has a very illustrious career, has to his credit 5 patents, along with several research publications and authorships of books and chapters. He's an experienced entrepreneur with a demonstrated history of working in water resources management, with skills and expertise in river engineering, instrumentation, automation, data analysis, and experimental hydrology. Mr. Harsha is a key contributor to the government policy making as he serves on the panel of the Ministry of Jal Shakti, wielding a significant influence on the evolving water regulations in India. His company, the Kritsnam Technologies, garnered recognition from NASA and the World Bank, and also he earned the NASCOM Award for the Best Software and Analytics Firm. So, welcome to the session, Mr. Harsha. We then have Mr. Indrajit Mukherjee, who's going to be the moderator of the day. Mr. Indrajit Chatterjee. My apologies. Mr. Chatterjee, he is a BTech in Honors in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. After that, he did executive management courses from MIT Sloan School of Management, Cambridge, Massachusetts, and University of Warwick as well. He's got 50 years of experience behind him in the manufacturing industry. Mr. Chatterjee is a board member of Wheels Global Foundation as well as of Sobus Insight Forum. His current passion is to give back to the country, especially to the rural segment through future technologies. So welcome to the session, Mr. Chatterjee, and I hand over the session to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Sujata, for the elaborate biodata, sharing that elaborate biodata of both of us. And before I start that one, welcome, Sierra, to
Thank
the
you. Thank you.
platform. And before we start, no, there is some disclaimer I want to say that one. Here, all the observations or the remarks made by all the people here are for or their own thing. It's a personal thing. Neither NDLI nor WGF are actually behind these things. So they are not involved in this process. Then to the audience, welcome all of you. And I'm sure it will be a very good session on with the expertise of Sri Harsha, who is now based in Hyderabad. Now, for questions, you want to have some questions, you please put it in comment box as we go on in the session. And at the end of that one, Dr. Anirban will collect them and present it to us here, and she also can respond that way. So kindly keep that in mind. You can write there, and in between the session, let's not have any direct. Mm, I mean, we don't want to stop that one. So at the end of that one, it will be good that if your question may be asked, that time computation. Now, coming to today's topic, that is water tech and beyond, and building a career in sustainability, especially given the stress on entrepreneurship. Now, Sri Harsha, as you have seen, is an expert on one portion of water. It's a huge thing, so I cannot say that he is, but he's a very good research scholar, and he spent a lot of time at IIT Kanpur as he is incubated there, and other things you have already read. So now, coming without wasting much time, let me come to the topic straight. So CRSA will be dividing it into four uh, segments, so that it's
Okay.
easier for students to I mean, absorb that one as
Right.
they want. So first one will be on water sector challenges and opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fundamental resource, and still we find there a lot of challenges in this sector. So please identify the key issues in the water domain and why they are crucial, and what the future holds for the sector, especially for the students and the aspiring entrepreneurs. Additionally, what is missing in the current landscape and what opportunities exist for innovation and career development. So,
Okay.
Fiersa, now
Hmm.
it's your thing.
Thank
Can
you. Thank you, IC, for this opportunity. Thank you also, NDLA, for organizing such wonderful webinars for everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Sri Harsha, founder of Kritsnam Technologies. I see you have mentioned about the water sector, where from 2011 to 2000, right now, for almost 11, 12 years, we have been working in the water field. Still, our understanding of this field is only like 0.01 percentage, maybe, because for water being so fundamental, right? Water is the source of life and fundamental to existence and fundamental to economics of the country. But today, when we are talking about water, we are talking about scarcity, we are talking about crisis, we are talking about mismanagement, flood, drought, pollution. Essentially, we are talking about a panic. Water, which supposed to give a very good emotion to us. When we're discussing about it, talking about it globally, not only in India, we're giving out the feeling of the panic, and this has to change. And if you see, majority of the population of India who lives with less than 100 rupees a day survive on the freshwater resources for their sustenance. These are surface water or groundwater. As surface water is getting polluted and groundwater is being depleted, the access of fresh water to the majority of Indians is being questioned. And removing water from their house is not like removing TV from their house. It is a issue of national crisis if not addressed properly. So if you ask me what is the fundamental reason or the source of this the water crisis that is upcoming on us, is the disparity between water demand and supply. As as humans, we require water for various use cases, for agriculture, for irrigation, within that agriculture, or drinking water supply, or industrial water usage, or or commercial water usage that we use for offices, hospitals, malls, etc. So when there is a day-to-day demand of the water for all these entities, there are different kinds of water users, and the entities require uh, a different amount of water for their survival and for the day-to-day operations. When the water demand is exceeding the supply, that the water that can be supplied through either groundwater or surface water or tanker water or municipal water supply, or even rainwater storage, all the sources combined, if the demand is exceeding supply, then everyone will start facing water shortages. And this is where we are in, where by 2030 UN has declared that our global water demand is going to exceed the supply by 40%. That's a huge number. Like, if uh, the demand is exceeding supply by 40%, that means almost 40% of the population will not be having access to the water for all their general needs. That is a very bad situation to be in. And what happens in such scenario? When demand exceeds the supply, the cost of water will start exceeding. Till now, the water is neither priced or priced very low, because government has been subsidizing the cost of the water, the material cost of water, and the cost of transportation of water, filtration of the water, and delivering it to your household. All of this is subsidized. But once the disparity between demand and supply starts increasing, the government would not be able to support us to that extent. Then the cost of water will start increasing, and maybe the first hit will be on industries and commercial segment, then on household segment, then at the last on agricultural segment. But all the water users will have to prepare for shortages. Second, once you have limited amount of water, the government or the water supplier will have to be selective in its allocation. They'll have to choose whether they'll prioritize agriculture, which is the major water guzzler. Almost 80% of our fresh water resources are being used for it. Or they have to prioritize drinking water supply or commercial or industrial water supply. All of them are equally important for economics of the country, and but the government or the water supplier will be forced to choose among them. Now, when we reach to certain scenario, all the water users, be it a individual householder or a farmer or a water regulator sitting in the government department, or an industrial water user, or a commercial property owner, everyone has to navigate through these water shortages. Unfortunately, in India and in majority of the growing countries, no one has invested into water infrastructure or water capacity building. If you see, all these industries and commercial areas, or including farming, or you have a lot of managers, like maintenance managers, operations managers, EHS managers, safety managers, but rarely you can find water manager, because water was always taken as a resource that could be managed uh, heuristically. You need not have sophistication, or you need not have managers trained for that use case. But now the scenario is changing. When a commercial building per se, as long as the water is available, the cost of water is only 5 rupees, 4 rupees, or 10 rupees per kiloliter. But imagine the building does not have access to water for 3 or 4 days. The cost of water will start becoming heavily visible now, and the existing people who are managing it are not equipped, not trained, not to manage the water shortages, or to navigate through these water shortages or intermittent water supply, be it a farmer, or be it a individual householder, or an industry operational manager. So this gap in knowledge and tools, there is no technology support for these people who wants to who become water sustainable, or in the journey of becoming water sustainable. There are no tools out there that are readily available. The tools are technology tools like smart meters or softwares or analytic tools that can support this water manager to transform from being a water user to a water custodian. This is the gap that we have to fulfill in the time to come, as a country and as globally also, for us to manage this disparity between water demand and supply. And this is what, as a company, we have also realized, and we started working on this direction for the past 10 years. Now, this requires technologies in different domains, monitoring technologies that can help water users monitor their water usage, understand how much water they are using daily, what are the areas of excess water usage, help them optimize it, coming up with better technologies for water treatment, understanding water quality transformation per different process. So this journey of water quantity and quality transformation and the utilization within their entity requires a good amount of technological intervention, and there's a good scope of problem solving for many more entrepreneurs to come and address this situation. But currently, unfortunately, water is a public good majorly, and because it's not priced right, the economics of saving water, the ROI of conserving water is very low. So the possibility of business is growing, but still not yet attractive, and that's why you see very few companies who are working in this domain. The whole sustainability domain is a very new thing to the world. That is because the ROI of being sustainable is not evident, especially in the case of water, which where the pinch of not having it is much more tangible than anything else in the whole climate change domain. So anyone who is aspiring to solve this problem of water sustainability have to be patient, and but the value that they can generate in the ecosystem going forward is tremendous. And countries like India specifically are definitely going to require people who think in these lines and how to reduce the gap or disparity between water demand and supply. That's a great opportunity is what I feel, and it's very high time that we as a country should act on it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, CSR, too, for informing us on those things. Now, of course, we have nowadays use of IoT, AI, ML, etc. for agriculture sector. As you mentioned, no, water is a lot of water goes actually in the agriculture sector, especially farming and paddy field. So drip irrigation, then all IoT sensors, etc., are being put there to conserve water. the only thing is not in a large scale because of our Indians, that farmland is all divided, and that's one of the thing I can say from my experience. So
Correct.
that's a good one, and that's how it you took the interest in water, and
Right.
you made one journey of 930 kilometers in 90 days, right, by the
Right.
uh, side of Ganga, actually.
Right.
So
Right.
what made you actually to undertake that journey, and which helps you in future, which has definitely helped Krishnam for their lot of things were unknown and you have divided. So what can be, and also you collaborate not only with the PPP model but also with academia like IIT
Right.
Kanpur, etc. So that helped you definitely, as I know it.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
so could you share your insights into these lessons? Especially, you might have made a lot of mistakes, some mistakes,
Right.
not lots, but yeah, so
Right.
what lessons? Because by mistakes, actually, we gain knowledge, actually, and we
True.
avoid
True.
and advise the future
Right.
people not to follow that one. No point wasting their energy on that. It's already
Right.
there. So, on this, your strategy, how it has actually worked on hardware part of it in this one, and the journey of entrepreneur, say journey of Krishnam Technology
Okay.
or Sri Harsha. You can tell briefly to the audience. It will be very
Okay.
interesting, at least. Thank you.
Thank you, I see. So I'll give you a brief about how the company Kritsnam has evolved and what challenges has pushed us to start innovating in this direction. So the company evolved as an extension of my master's thesis in IIT Kanpur, which is about studying the surface and subsurface interactions of River Ganga. As part of my thesis, we were extensively using the river water level data coming from an agency, and we were building models on top of this data. And this data, every 1 hour water level data that we get, the and the data is very consistent, and we all of our models are usually empirical models, and the data becomes the foundation of what we build. But there were a few missing data sets in the data that we had, so we had to personally go and collect them in the field along with that agency. So when I went there, before going, I thought all this data must be collected through an automated device that can that will take the data and push it to the online servers. But when I went there, I saw first area there was a very old person, very old, um, uh, I think semi-trained personnel who there was a manual gauge at the banks of the river Ganga, and almost 100 feet to 200 feet away, he was trying to see what the water level is, and he wrote it once or twice in a day. And he says that the rest of the time he knows how the water level fluctuates. He says that Gangaji is very familiar to him, and he knows. So I thought this could be an anomaly, and that the people fudging the data and giving it to us. But when I went to the second place, I saw that there was a small kid. He says that his father sends him to collect the data once or twice in a day, and the rest of the time his father records the data. And to my surprise, all the 8 sites were like that, and we were utilizing that data to build large scale models. And the nighttime there is no visibility of this manual data, and when the flood during the flood, no one risks to go near the to the banks. But still, none of the data is flagged, and we are utilizing this data as if it's the truth. Then I was surprised, like what am I doing as part of my thesis? Then I went to irrigation. Then I tried to study how water resource engineering has evolved across the globe from 1930s to 2000 13, and how irrigation management works, how drinking water supply works, and understood that it's the water management in India is majorly guesswork. And the technologies are available, but they are not, the adoption of the technology is very poor, for the reasons being the most of the technologies are imported. The monitoring technologies like river level monitoring or pipe flow meter monitoring or water quality monitoring stations, all of these are imported, and they're very expensive. Second, they are not tailored for Indian use cases. For example, most of these water level sensors have big solar panel and a big lead acid battery. Even though even though we invest into the instrumentation, as soon as you deploy, within a week either a solar panel or a battery is gone, and the device stays non-functional. So for us to contribute to this domain, we need to develop the technology ground up for our use cases, and that will reduce the cost, and it will also make the product viable for Indian scenarios. So with this thought process, we have started the company, and we wrote multiple government grants. Fortunately, working alongside IIT Kanpur, we could raise some good number of grants. We started working on developing water quality equipments, river water level sensors, canal water level and flow measurement sensors. And because we applied for different grants, we started working on different products. We were defocused. We started working on various directions, and we deployed a good number of sensors on river Ganga for flood level monitoring. We had impact 2018 Uttarakhand flash floods. The data up to the PMO level we were supplying directly. We got good number of accolades and recognitions scientifically, but we were not able to monetize the opportunity or monetize the business opportunity that using the technology that we have developed. And it's been in 2017 18, it has been 2015 we have started. 3 years 4 years after developing the technology, like for example the water level sensors that we have developed, the market available international ones are at 4 lakhs. We developed the product at 25,000 and sold it at 55,000. Even then we are not able to scale because water being a public good, and uh, the interest in making an impact in water was very low. And I was questioning all the knowledge that I have gained through my masters and in the further research, and I felt that I really don't know what is the state of water management in India. How do villages manage water? How cities manage water? How do people in India think about water? While you see the river Ganga, we call it as Mother Ganga, but unfortunately, it is one of the way the river is. It doesn't say that it doesn't reflect to the fact that we call it as mother, right? And that raised a lot of questions in me, like what is this? What is this? Why is this working like this? Like while we are so much attached to rivers, while we have a culture that respects the rivers and water being so fundamental, but still it is in a very disastrous state. So that is the reason I decided to walk along river Ganga from around 930 kilometers along on the banks of the Ganga without money, so that I force myself to stay with farmers, to stay with various stakeholders around on the banks of the Ganga, and learn from them on how do they think about water, how do they interact with water, what is that we lack as a country today. And after the whole journey, out of there are many things that I have learned both scientifically and spiritually on the way, but the crux of it is, before solving technology in water, we need to solve a more fundamental issue, that is motivation in doing good in water. Currently, water being a public good, if you do good for for the betterment of lakes, ponds, canals, rivers, there is no reward system that will motivate a community or an individual or a company to act on it. Like for example, if you make a better car or you make a better phone, cheaper phone, you'll be able to make wealth for yourself. But like that, if you do something good in water, there is no opportunity for self growth. There's no opportunity for reward or recognition. That is one of the major things that lacked. Once you have built a reward, once you build a motivation basis for working in water, then technology will automatically evolve, like carrot and stick. See, we need carrot and
Yeah.
stick to drive anything, but that is what was missing in water. So then I went back, and then we rethought our entire approach, that technology first approach is not the way. The approach is to understand what are the gaps and help the ecosystem come up with regulations, the water regulations that will help the country that will help individual users in being alertful of how much water they're using, and coming up with an ecosystem where a good sustainable practice on water can be rewarded. So with that knowledge, we started working on two specific topics, that is groundwater regulation, which we recently National Green Tribunal, Central Groundwater Water Authority, has mandated that all commercial borewells in India have to be metered. So this is a great opportunity. Now it is a stick that says that every industry, every commercial entity, be it schools, malls, offices, hospitals, mines, everyone has to monitor their groundwater abstraction, and they have to be within certain limit in their water usage daily, and they have to pay bills for their groundwater. Till now, groundwater was free; it was never penalized, or the excessive usage was never penalized. So there was uh, there was no technology intervention into better managing them. But because this NGT push, CGWA has come up with a national regulation, this gave us a tremendous opportunity to start pushing into it. So we started focusing only on one technology, that is smart water meters, and we started addressing this market. Very recently, SEBI has mandated that top 1,000 listed companies, as part of their ESG reporting, they have to report their water usage. So the, the regulatory framework in India is evolving to push people to declare their water usage, to reduce their water usage, and employ better technologies to conserve water. So uh, focusing only on this opportunity has really given a path for Kritsnam to become financially good. So until 2015 to 2020, 21, we were barely able to generate any revenue. But from 2021 to now, we have grown multi x, like maybe 50x or 60x in our revenue in the last three and a half years, by focusing. The learning that we have gained is entrepreneurship is not just a scientific journey of developing new product or innovating. It is understanding who the right customer who can pay, understanding an opportunity that can be commercializable, and developing a minimum viable product that can fit to that opportunity, and focusing on it. The mistake that we did, as you have rightly asked, you must have made a lot of mistakes. The mistake that we did is not focusing on one product. We started working on various types of products, like soil moisture, developing weather forecasting, uh, or water advisories, or developing water quality for lakes and flow measurement for canals, you name it. Most of the measuring technologies that are possible in the water, we started working in it. And we didn't it was great to work on different technologies, but it didn't lead us anywhere. But when we realized that we have to focus on those technologies where there is a market opportunity, and where the customer want to pay for the value that you have created, there they that is where one has to focus. We have developed what radar water level sensor for river monitoring, but government being the only customer, it has put the entire business model in risk. So yeah, so we could not scale. Eventually, then we realized that we need to find the customers who have the pain of water management, which comes in the commercial sector, and they are willing to pay for the value that you have created. That's where entrepreneurs have to focus on. It's not just solving the problem, but what do you choose to solve on day zero, so that you become commercially viable, becomes very important.
Okay, thanks, Harsha, for this your deep insight into this one and what made Krishnam work. Now, see, we have about 10 to 12 minutes left now. So let's ask the third one, that is technology related and the impact it can create, because you have developed, Krishnam has developed certain technology which is giving the results today. And also, no, you have got that NASCOM Emerge 2021, and congratulations. That day also, I congratulated you, I remember. And that's a great way of recognition, actually, what you have been referring to. And you are motivated towards, no, doing this one. And that's how it's NASA, people like, no, NASA and World Bank, they have recognized this reward to you by NASCOM. So that's a great thing for motivational part of it, I could see. And also now we are telling 50x or whatever you have gained that one. So that should create some interest among the aspiring entrepreneurs in this area, which was almost unknown in
Right.
this field. We are also working on water, as you said, in Himachal Pradesh, many
Right.
things, this rejuvenation of this and other states, lakes, etc. But yes, it is no manager is there, as you were telling, custodian of this one. I
Right.
like that one. But anyway, I should not talk much because we want to hear your version of it. So you were actually key person in developing these courses. Even your courses are recognized and they are being part of that. I hope that course should be shared by NDLI in future if that is uh, allowed. I don't know about all these things, but it's a good platform to share such knowledge and information. And Government of India, you are in that panel also, so your voice, so you should interact like this with the public and
Right.
then feed it back to the government to help improving or no that
Right.
policies they have made, because always once you cannot make the policy and forget it, so you have to go on working on that one. So coming to this one, kindly tell us about this experience and also that practical use cases, because
Hmm.
we want to see what you have done with our own eyes. Then merely talking about it may not
Right.
be very
Right. Right.
interesting thing
Right. Right.
for others. So kindly share your thought process through your pictorial
Right. So I can
presentation.
share my presentation. For the interest of
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
I'll be very brief. Um, you're able to see my screen, right? I see.
yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
Others also might be able to
So
see.
the first work that we did in the early 2016, 17, 18 is river monitoring. As you can see, these are the radar based water level sensors that we have developed, and it was covered in Hindu Business Line in the front page, where we in 2018 Uttarakhand flash floods, we have actively contributed to it. So these sensors are deployed on from the upper Ganga basin, from various prayags, Nanda Prayag, Son Prayag, Vishnu Prayag, and Rudraprayag up till the Varanasi. And these devices, this sensor that you see, uses radar pulse to sense the water level with very high precision. And this measurement is not affected by any rain or any dust or any environmental changes. That's how sophisticated this technology is. And once the data is collected into this box has internal both cellular based connection and also satellite based connection, depending on whatever is the best network availability, whether it is satellite communication or a cellular communication. It pushes the data online every 10 minutes. So sitting here, you can watch the entire river, how the water level is fluctuating every 10 minutes, and that data directly goes into the model uh, that will be later used for the flood prediction or alarm generation or flood alarm generation. So this we took almost 2 years to develop it and deploy it across River Ganga. And second, flow measurement, which will be useful for drinking water supply. For example, if you're receiving water from your municipality, you must be having a small mechanical meter at your house that measures the water, and you might be getting a bill. Or for groundwater regulation, that says that your groundwater have to be metered and you need to pay groundwater bills. Or industrial water use efficiency, if you want to reduce your water use within an industry or a commercial entity, you need to understand where you are using excess water flow. For all of it, the core is a water flow meter. The existing technologies in the water meters are mechanical or electromagnetic, and these meters are exposed to a lot of errors. Like even if air goes inside it, it will count as a flow. And these are non-smart, so someone have to go and record the data, and and that is exposed to manipulation, willful manipulation or unwillful manipulations, like issues in writing the correct data. So the whole water management is crippled by old outdated equipments, and also the non-smart or dull equipment that requires huge dependency on the manpower to go and collect the data. So the ones that are smart are not really smart. If you see, this is a meter that requires a solar panel, that requires a power supply, that requires a external telemetry box. It's like you need a smartphone, you're taking a landline and connecting it to a desktop computer and trying to make it smart. It doesn't work like that. So with that, we have developed our product Dhara Suite, which is a combination of water flow meters plus software. So Dara Smart is our flagship product. The meter that you see is a water flow meter that can be fitted on a pipeline from your household pipeline to the drinking water supply pipeline that is as big as 10-inch or 12-inch. It has inbuilt cellular SIM cards, two SIM cards inside this box. And if you see, your phone dies in 2 days, right? If your phone using cellular connectivity, but this device runs on battery for 8 years, non-rechargeable batteries for 8 years, communicating the data to the online servers. So this is one of the most innovative thing that we have developed, and we have a patent granted by Indian Patent Office for this. And it is also an IP system. So even if these devices are completely submerged or drowned, nothing happens to the electronics. So this is the kind of output that you require if you want to have a scalable monitoring of water resources. Second version is the similar work but done by Bluetooth instead of cellular. If you go with your phone, it will send the data to your phone, and it will be able to collect the data. So, and this is using a wired output. So, for example, whether it being a municipal water supply or borewell water extraction, when you want to understand how much water you utilize today, most of the people, if I ask you a very simple question, how much water your family must have used today, we might not have any idea. People can estimate saying that my family will be using 600 liters, some will say 200 liters, some will say 2000 liters. But the fact is, we grossly underestimate the amount of water that we utilize. Only by installing water meters like this, we are making ourselves capable of managing it later. Only when you can measure, you can manage. A simple example, one of the very interesting company from Kanpur came to us saying that they want to reduce their water consumption, and they were using 3.5 lakh liters of water per day from 6 borewells. And when we started installing these meters, we found that from 2 borewells, they were using 22 lakh liters of water. So they didn't even know. The genuine people who want to conserve water, then they really didn't know the amount of water that they're using. A simple garden can use 5,000 liters or 1 lakh liters. So having this kind of meters that will send the data to an online server where using your phone anywhere, you can get an alert saying that you have overused your water. So this is the first step towards your better water management. This is how the deployment happens. This meter has everything within it so that it gets the data directly to your phone. And once you get the data, then there are applications. Then we have our waters.blue is a portal that we have built where the individual as a user, you can see how much water you use on a daily basis, whether being a apartment, whether being an industry or a commercial entity. I can see today per utility how much water I've used, where have I crossed my water with respect to the benchmark, and automatic alerts will come, reports will come. So these tools will help me being from a water user to a water custodian to become more responsible in the way that I manage water. And for this, we've also got technology development board support. It has given us funds to set up the manufacturing facility. And in the last 1 year, we have tracked over 14 billion liters of water from 1,200 plus enterprise customers, and we helped them, a good number of them, save water up to 40%. And solutions
Wow.
we also worked in Ishwar. It's a irrigation management, agriculture being 80% of water usage, and canal irrigation being the major portion of it. The fundamental problem is in the upstream you get too much water, in the downstream you get too less water. In a canal, even in the upstream distributaries, the upstream people always get more water. For the crops, you need right amount of water at right time. Excess water is leads to less productivity. Low water leads to low productivity. How do you optimize the water supply so that everyone maximizes their productivity? This was the topic, and we worked in Kanpur, UP, along with World Bank and University of Washington, and we also worked. We're also working in Karnataka, Tungabhadra Left Bank Canal, along with Government of Karnataka, where we have installed good number of sensors in farms and in canals. As you can see, continuously monitoring the water levels in the canals and telling the same information to the farmers. And in Kanpur, the work that we have done in 6 months with 150 farmers, we could save around 30 million liters of water just by telling them how much water to utilize when. In a weekly basis, how much water farmer has to input, on a weekly basis, how much water that canals has to the canal gates has to operate with, so that you get right amount of water at right time. So we used the satellite data, real time satellite data, various kinds of satellite data, weather data, and ground sensor data, combined all of it, and we did a hydraulic modeling, crop modeling. So the whole sophistication of the models goes in the back, but the output is farmer will know exactly how much water he has to use in this week, and the same irrigation department will know how much water they have to supply to this particular pipe outlet or a distributor this week. So the demand and supply gap is reduced. That's how we can with the available amount of water, we can maximize its potential in the agriculture. Our national average in irrigation water utilization is around 36%. So you see, that's a extremely poor ratio, and by having the products like this, we can increase it to 50-60%. That means practically you can double the amount of farm water utilization that can be done in India. And this work has gained significant recognition by US Impact General, NASA, World Bank, various other places. Thank you. And
Yeah, it's a
just
great
a
one.
brief. This was my walk along River Ganga. So
Yeah,
this is far different from who I am normally. But yeah, thank you.
yeah. That's a real good one, actually, and so much actually you have to walk and to continue your journey. So that's a journey you started with Ganga. So definitely it is good. It is spiritual and it's helping you today. Whatever you say, I take it in that fashion that, yeah, after 7 years, maybe you have made some distinct marks in your thing. Now, coming to this one, because we are coming to end of this one, so maybe you can take about 5 minutes more if we
Okay.
are allowed 5 minutes. We are allowed. In case something extra you want, we have to take permission from Dr. Anirban. So I'll make it short because you have actually, it's not innovation or any of the work that you have done or knowledge will not help you become entrepreneur, because finally
Right.
you need some
Right.
capital. So capex. So I understand from your context, for so many years we are in touch, and so you have got some international grants also, and also grants from the government, and also from the industry, and these are the things people will look forward to. What is the method actually you have used to get this one?
Right.
Is it the same pitch you are using everywhere, or is it different? So I feel, if we can do that one, and our budding entrepreneurs, or aspiring thing, it will help them if you share that
Right.
experience. Again,
Right.
I have one more thing, because you said in the beginning, it's very important. That's why I'm just taking your time. See, this awareness program is not
Right.
there, as I understood from your talk, right? So that should be made actually. We have some spoken tutorials from IIT Bombay, that's also supported by Government of India. So there we got some videos for in different languages to make the awareness of, like, breastfeeding or 1,000 days of nutrition for the children, etc. These are very impactful, and people will be aware. Like your, this real time you are evaluating what is
Right.
the
Right.
water you have consumed. Nowadays, water credit also is coming actually. So
Yes. Yes. Correct. Correct. Correct.
carbon credit. So that
Right. Right.
also is
That's
a
an excellent
motivation
initiative.
for
Yes.
the, yeah,
Yes.
for the industries especially they
Mm.
give, and it's a compulsory thing also for them to
Yes.
maintain this. Green Tribunal has imposed that one. Any profit-making company or anybody. So uh, on this, what are the things actually? How fresh person will approach this
Mm.
one and into entrepreneur
Right. So
stage. So kindly tell
yes.
them
Yes.
whatever you have learned through your journey, that will be more interesting, and
Yes.
other
Yes.
scopes that are available. Thank you.
Yes, I see. Thank you, I see. You're right. So just having a technology or a product will not allow you to succeed in the entrepreneurship journey. You need continuous cash inflow. It can be whether a grant, support, or even funds from angels or VCs. So I think as a someone who just wants to get into entrepreneurship, what one has to see is, do you have a focused problem statement for which, if I solve it, people should be able to pay for it, and we need to make it very focused. And when you're at an idea stage, I think grants are the right tool. And when we are at an idea stage, in India, grants ecosystem has significantly improved. Now these days, whoever I met, DST has done, Department of Science and Technology Development Board, has done some phenomenal work in passing on grants to a good number of innovators who are at a starting point. Like all Nidhi Prayas is one excellent platform. Like I have no words to say, but Department of Science and Technology has done some phenomenal job. Every entrepreneur who has a great idea gets funding from them. BIRAC, Millennium Alliance. There are so many government grants that are available that will help you in your seed stage when you have an idea. But what we need to do is they're small money, like 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 7 lakhs, or 30 lakhs, under 30 lakhs kind of a money, where we should apply for such a grant, take that money and be very focused on what we are developing, so that that money should get you a proof of concept that if I make this, a customer is going to pay for it. Once you're in that stage where what you have made, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 customers are willing to pay you for that, more than the cost of what it took to make you that, that's when you have the first door of angel investment. These angel investments are non-serious VC funds. Non-serious in a sense that VCs have a thesis around what type of investment they have to do, but usually angel investors are more flexible. They will bet on entrepreneurs, they'll bet on the future idea, and they come in very early stage. And in Kritsnam, angels have become a very significant part. VCs are usually rigid. They'll put money only when you demonstrate a good scale, or you're working on an idea that is traditionally proven somewhere in US or UK or anywhere, Singapore. But if you are working on a the topic like sustainability or water, where it is not yet, the success is not yet demonstrated in the other countries or other by other players, angels will become grants, and then angels will become a very important source of money. You go to these high network individuals or people who have done good in industry, or in even faculty from reputed institutions. People are willing to put small money, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, and all combined together will become like a 50 lakh or a 1 crore money. So when you are able to demonstrate that your product generates value in the market, you can raise funds from the angels and grow your product. And the next stage is product market fit. You have developed a minimum viable product that is focused towards a particular use case, and you have demonstrated that the market is willing to adopt it, and you have captured a certain minimum amount of market for that. That's when you as a company will be suitable to pitch for a VC, a venture capitalist, who will evaluate your market, how big your market is, how innovative your product is, and how fast you can scale. So this is the usual funding route, and people should not be disappointed if you have a rejection in this funding route. See, before raising first fund, I would have been rejected by, till now in the last 2 years we have raised around 35 crores of money. And raising the first private fund of 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, it took us almost one whole year. No one wanted to invest in, no one wanted to invest in an idea or in a domain that is not really attractive. Water and hardware, both unattractive domains. So you should not be discouraged. You need to find the right set of people who sees an opportunity in your particular domain. Not everyone sees that. So you need to be patient and keep talking to people again and again and again. Be persistent until you hit the right one. You will definitely hit a right one. Whatever idea you take, there will be someone who will believe in it, as long as you're doing good and you're being innovative. So it's the trick is about approaching as many places as you can and start working in that direction.
That's very good, actually. And thank you for no. This last thing actually will help everybody, and no, you have clearly demonstrated how you have grown to 35 crore rupees. No, you have taken. So that's something I wanted to know. Also, no, let's end it there. We have already overshot actually our time, and Dr. Anirban, I'll invite him to give the question answer sessions, and if anything goes
Yeah.
beyond 5 o'clock, so then you can adjust
So
accordingly. Sorry
yeah,
about that.
it's okay. I see, and we got a couple of questions, though those are very few. So first, I want to start with this comment, which is very encouraging, very useful topic, not only for farmers. Each and every citizen should follow your advice, sir. So I am starting with that. And the second one is, this question is coming repeatedly from many people. So actually, I think they want to know what is the cost for such kind of devices and all these things.
So the
So
Yeah. So the cost of
yeah,
these devices varies as per the utility, whether it is a river water level or a tank water level or a flow meter for your house or a flow meter for industry. How you have to see it is the currently the benchmarking price for smart meters is the imported ones. We should be at least 4 times to 5 times lower than any imported product. Whether the for example, like I said, a radar water level comes at 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, and we are significantly lower compared to that. Or a piped or a household water meter, which a mechanical meter comes at around 1200, and a smart meter comes at 7000. We are at somewhere at 3000. So you can see 3000, 2500. So we what we are doing is, the benchmarking price of a market which is coming from outside, we are drastically reducing it down so that the adaptability goes high.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
so
no, this. Sorry, 1 second, Anirban, because this brings me actually in that field, no, because this price alone will not help actually. Because now, Make in India drive is started by this one. So, being from manufacturing industry, I am actually requesting. We have actually taken up this one, that how manufacturing can be sustainable and easier for the
Correct.
people. So you can actually get all these things done at a much cheaper rate through the this type of associations and
Yes.
budding entrepreneurs in manufacturing. I'm
Right.
actually working
Right. Right.
on that one, frankly speaking. That's I told. So, Anirban, sorry to disturb you.
yeah, so another question, sir. With the technology, can we get the water quality details, or it gets only water usage data?
So, say both are possible, the water usage data and water quality data. But the current state of the art in water quality is that it is not made for continuous monitoring. You can use this water quality machines for as a handheld way. You take those meters or sensors in hand, and you deploy, and you take the reading and come out. The ones that you put it in the continuous way are not really stable. They are not really dependable, reliable, and robust. But on the other side, water usage or flow or level data, they have become very reliable. You can continuously deploy and leave them, and for 2 year, 3 year, you don't have to worry about it. They'll keep on collecting the data. So water quantity is standalone, and water quality is manpower dependent sensor. But both for both of it, you have smart sensors.
Okay. So another question is cost per liter water usage using this machine.
So this is not so in water management there could be water treatment
Yeah,
and water purification
yeah.
system, but our focus has been in water measurement, and that will not have a count in terms of cost per liter. Usually treatment has that call. Yeah.
So
But
these
if I
are
can say
the
that government has priced the groundwater as 2 rupees per 1000 liters, or 5 rupees per 1000 liters, or 10 rupees per 1000 liters, depending upon the aquifer that you are in. Yeah.
so Harsha, what is your experience regarding the usage of daily usage of water in a standard size of family? That means, what is the scenario in India and in comparison to the
Yes.
others countries? Or
So many municipalities have a standard of somewhere between 100 to 150 liters per capita per day. That is per person for all his needs, his or her needs. Whether it is a toilet, washing, utensils, all put together 100 to 150. So for a family of four, it will roughly come out to be 400 to 600 liters per day if used correctly. But you see, this is for the direct water. This does not include water it took to produce 1 kg of a rice. Like 1 kg of rice takes somewhere from 3000 to 5000 liters of water, or your pair of jeans, or anything that you're, or the plastic bags that you use, they all require water. Though not, they are not counted. Your direct water in your house is 400 to 600 for a four family if you use correctly. But most of these houses have leakages, and if you must have observed that if your toilet flush is slightly leaking, sometimes your entire tank is empty by
Yeah.
morning, right? That 5000 liter tank or a 10,000 liter tank is also empty.
yeah.
So then the consumption shoots up excessively. The usually combining the leakages, misuse, and total water usage in India, the water usage per family of four, instead of 400 to 600, it comes out to be around 2000 to 3000 liters of water. So it's so once we become very much aware about how much water you're using, we should be easily bring it down to 400 to 500 liters of water. Yeah. per
So
family,
that
that's all.
was the purpose of the question. Actually, that difference, that is a standard of
Mm.
500, and we are using nearly 2000. So this is a
Yes,
huge
yes.
gap that we could not even understand and even notice also.
Correct,
So
correct, correct,
this is
correct.
the thing. And another question I want to answer that is coming repeatedly: how can we receive the participation certificate? For receiving the participation certificate, you can get it through our NDLI club portal as a standard protocol. If you do not know the process, please connect our helpline. Our executives will help you regarding the issue. So this is the thing. And another comment I want to show you: very informative session on water sustainability. Also the mechanical work and software representations are nice. Overall your work is promising. So thanks and a big hand for
Yeah.
Harsha.
Thank you. And I think in India has a lot of capability, and we have heavily underutilized our talent. You need not be from a reputed institutions like IIT Kharagpur or Kanpur. I believe that a good number of Indians have that innovation capability to impact into the critical areas, critical issues of the country, and we need to start doing that. I think
Yeah,
we need to revive our country ourselves. No one is going to do it for us. I believe
yeah.
there are far more capable people, innovative people in this country than what I am. And if they also start contributing, I think we will be we will be technologically superpower or much more advanced in next few years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last one question that I will take, and it's important. What is the future projection of this type of device? Will they increase or lower in terms of cost?
See, the cost will always decrease. See, cost will decrease based upon two, three reasons. One is your in-house production. You are able to manufacture it internally within India, and you are able to manufacture at scale. With the if you see electronics, when you buy, if you buy a single product, it comes at 1,000. If you buy it bulk, it will come at 200. That is the difference in manufacturing cost. Second, as we learn about utility, we remove all the unnecessary things that are there in the product, and we make the product very light. When the product becomes very specific to a use case, it will become also light and cost effective. And this is also one way to become lower the cost. So eventually, for any good product, with time, that for a product that has to go on scale, with time the cost will come down. But some companies can choose to increase the price. For example, your iPhone cost will keep on increasing with time, it doesn't reduce, even though their expansion, their market reach is high. That is because that is not the general trend of manufacturing. That is
Mm,
because the brand chose to increase their value with time.
yeah,
That is an artificial surge in price, and not the general consequence of increase in volume. Yeah.
yeah. So I am closing the question answer session right here due to the shortage of time. And now I see it's your turn to take the hat of Wheels Global Foundation.
Okay. Yeah, I represent Wheels Global Foundation, and Sujata ma'am also is there from our organization. And basically, these are all IITians who have started in 2006 in USA. And when Kalam, no, he is our person who is encouraging these things. You have knowledge, you have got everything. Why don't you do it something for the country, and also go in for entrepreneurship and all. So what wills actually is water health, education, energy, and livelihood and sustainability. If you do all these six, of course, agriculture is not mentioned here, but agriculture will need each one, cannot stand alone. If you want to have water, you must have good health, you must have energy there, and not that battery or any of the things and solar. So everywhere it is going into the technology part of it. So we used to call it technology enabled philanthropy. So that India also we have formed one company. It's a organization which is independent of 501c3 of USA. It is done in 2016. We have formed this one in India, of which I am the board member. That one. Here we doing everything voluntarily, and for on each council actually we have got. all the experts in the council, global experts. So they work on this one and decide on the projects. Then our uh, chapter wise, we have East, like Sujata ma'am is there, and others will do. So I will request all the student community who is there and young, because we are all old people, and so we are going on doing this one. But young volunteers, if they come and join us, you can find it in www.willsglobal.org. So if you go through this, everything is given in detail. What is our current activity going on? Who are the people? Whom do you contact, connect? And you want to give back something through technology. Money is always welcome, but we don't do any work ourselves. We give it to the proper NGO we select and they execute the project. It's a very interesting line. I am connected with this from 2019, and it will go on because till we I'm 74 plus now. But yes, it attracts the people. What we have understood from the global conferences that we have done in DC, India twice, and this one, and along with CII, Niti Ayog, and this Panchayat, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, so they are actually helping us because, as Harsha is told, they are the people. So PPP model, we are always doing that one. So I'll close at that one. So thank you, Anirban, and thanks to NDLI and all the people connected with this for giving us this opportunity to conduct webinar on your platform. Thanks, Shiatsa, for taking up this session. I know how busy you are, and so thanks a lot from my
Thank you,
side.
IC.
And say good.
Thank you, Sujata ma'am. Thank you, Anirban.
Thank you.
Uh, Thank you. So before closing the session, I'll interrupt once, Sri Harsha. I have get a question which I think we should answer at least. For house purpose, everyone will need these tools. So is there any plan to implement through government for every household? So
So two things are happening. One is the municipal water supply these days are coming up with smart meters for every house, so that the billing happens in an automatic way. So that is one way where government is intervening in it. Second, these days, if you see in the big cities, these apartments are installing sub water meters. All the high rise apartments who consume great amount of water and they don't have available groundwater and they depend on tanker water, the cost of water is increasing. So one apartment will consume less water, another will consume high water, but both all of them have to pay the same bill. Someone might not stay in the apartment for 4 or 5 days or 1 month also, 2 months also, but they have to pay the same bill as someone who in whose apartment there are 10-member family or 7-member family, right? So this disparity is making people to adopt to submitting. Even government is also making a regulation for all the individual houses to do a submetering. So with that, what happens is you'll start becoming aware of what is your water usage per day in your family, and if there is any leakage, you can immediately take an action on it, so that we don't waste water and we become more aware about our water usage in general. So yes, government is taking is developing regulations that will make this household level water monitoring possible.
So thank you, K Sri Harsha. Uh, Thanks for the time you given to us, to our viewers. You remain so busy, even though you have managed to come here and talk with us. I would like to thank Mr. Indrajit Chatterjee, Mrs. Suyata Roy for conducting and helping to conduct all the entire procedure. I would like to thank Wills Global Foundation India for being a partner with National Digital Library of India. I'd like to thank all the viewers, audiences, and participants, all the members of NDLI Club, and all the family member of National Digital Library of India, those who are behind the entire process, the entire things that is going on. And I am also thankful to the Ministry of Education, to IIT Kharagpur for holding this project, and I am thankful to the principal investigators of this project. With this, I am signing off and ending the live session. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.